So what's up, everybody? This is your boy Notes 215. Welcome to my KillaKicks podcast. Today on the phone, I got man, this guy, man, he's his vocabulary is crazy, man, when it comes to just the things that come out of his mouth, man, in these his reviews is always crazy, and he always there's only three in his class, and I'm gonna name two of them. So definitely you got Mr. Fomer Simpson, you got Crispy Coy, and then you have this guy that I have on the phone, Mr. Aero Pooch. How are you, sir?
Yo, it was cracking, man. I'm chilling, laid back, relaxing. No,
How, how's
just
that?
got home from work.
How's that caddy life?
Man, it's cooling up, man. Usually it's hot, dry, coming out of summer. Lately it's been unpredictable, but it's cooling up. Over there on the East Coast, man, you guys got. I hear you a lot, man, on the video saying, this shoe for this season or this color or whatnot. In California, I'm saying the sun's always out, it's always warm, so there's not really a season kicks you can rock. Everything on the spectrum from yellow to neon pink to green to black.
So every day is
I think
hot.
that's a good thing about out here. Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. I wish I had that type of weather. I'm not saying I'm for the cold, but I do like to pull out the hoodie every now and then. So, that's what I like about this type of weather. But
Yeah.
so let's get into before YouTube. So, how did you get into like this whole crazy thing of the sneaker culture, and like what's kind of like your remnants of like how it was in the beginning.
Man, it's really just pretty much the same story you hear from everybody. You be in school or whatnot. For me, shit, I forgot what year it was, but I was a young lad in school. Man, this kid came through. It was actually after class. I was walking out, and my man came through. He was walking the opposite direction, and he had on these black Jordans, man, right? But I didn't know they were Jordans at the time. I was uneducated at the time of the basketball scene because I was into skateboarding, and I never really I play a little ball. You know what I'm saying? I crossed over. I snapped a couple ankles here and there, but I wasn't really into the sneaker scene like that. So I knew about Nike. I knew if he had the Nike, he was fresh. But this shoe didn't have a check on it. It didn't have a swoosh on it. So I was like, whoa. And then, as I'm recovering from my neck snap, because I'm following his foot as he's walking away, and I notice the bottom of the shoe's clear, and I see a jump man. He got the tiger teeth, on the midsole, and then you have this clear mesh. It was just like all these things were just going through my head, just happened all at once. You have the reflective tongue, and you probably know what shoe I'm talking about, man. Metallic 5, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
That shit. That was it, man. That was when my neck virginity was taken away. It was my first snap, the first neck snap, man. And that was just from that day on, man. I just wanted, to be fresh. Actually, there was another sneaker too, where the Air Max BWs, man. I really like the colors that came out back in the day. And to see them, released now, because in Europe is a whole different scene.
Okay.
They've been rocking BWs for a minute.
Yeah. I mean, like the whole runner scene out there is ridiculous out there.
Yeah, man. So they're showing some love here, and it's really nice to see them come out. So yeah, man, that was the first shoe, man, the Metallic 5, and that started it, man.
And it's crazy how you say that, because I always have this argument. People think that you have to necessarily know about Michael Jordan in order to like his shoes, but I always say that people that didn't necessarily like basketball, their first liking of the shoe is just seeing somebody else wear it.
Yeah,
it's not really seeing like Michael Jordan like playing in it. It's like really like, oh shit, like these shits is crazy. And then it's like the shoe kind of gets you hipped onto like the whole, Michael Jordan saga thing.
yeah, that's exactly it. I liked his shoes before I liked him, But once that had my attention, I seen him on the court. I was like, oh shit, you know,
So
oh shit.
so you was into was was you into like SBs as well because of being a skater or not really?
At the time, no, man. At the time, now this was before SDs. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
I'm classic. I'm born in '82, man.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
I saw the Jordan 5, right? And then from there, I always kept my sneaker game up to par, man. It wasn't necessarily the most expensive sneaker, but you better believe the kicks I had on my feet were fresh.
Mm,
So it wasn't until after, you know, that shoe that I started paying attention to footwear.
okay.
Before that, I was rocking, you know, Airwalks. You had the Etnies,
Mm-hmm.
DC,
Mm-hmm.
ES, skate shoes like that. But yeah, that was before SBs.
So and I'm gonna get into the YouTube thing, but did you how good was you like with videography before YouTube? Like was that something that you actually like picked up, or like as you got into YouTube, you just like you just sharpened your knife a little bit better, with editing these videos?
It's something that I just picked up. I actually, it was kind of on accident how it all happened because um, my wife, she started school and she got the iPad Air,
Okay.
and yeah, she got that, and I thought it was pretty fresh. It was thin, lightweight. I was just playing around on it, and I checked out iMovie, and I just at the time when she got that, I was already making YouTube videos, but I wasn't using iMovie. I just had the camera, put it in front of me, sit on the couch, bada bing, bada boom, just talk, and then that would be it. But
Okay.
once I got a hold of that, once I got a hold of iMovie, that was a game changer, man. And I just picked it up. It was really fun, and it became an outlet, for me. Kind of like if you go to the gym, you stressed out, you go to the gym, or you go, to the bar, kick some knowledge to the ladies, or whatever, pick up some numbers or whatever. So for me, I hit up, iMovie, record, So yeah, it was just something I picked up.
So fast forward, so like you're getting into the culture. I'm pretty sure like you finding out that this is like mass, like this big culture. What was the initial thought that made you say, "Damn, I want to start a YouTube channel"?
Well, I was stationed in Okinawa, man, and I'd say this was around 2004, and um, I had a nice income. I was in the military, so I had that money on the side I could spend on kicks, and every now and then I'm basically a good J's, and if you're lucky, you grab a pair. So that was cool, but I was more interested in what was going on in the culture in Japan because they had sneakers that I hadn't seen on base, or even, when I would come home on leave or on vacation, I would head to my local shoe store, and I didn't see what they had in Japan. And that's when I realized I was like, oh shit, this is something I should take advantage of. So there were a couple of shoes downtown that I didn't know if I wanted or not.
Mm.
You see a shoe, you're not sure, man, and
Yeah, 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 yeah.
your boy's not there with you, man, to give you that push.
Yeah, you're
So you
undecisive. You're
like,
by yourself.
yeah. So you like, man, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do a little research, hit the net. So I would go on on the internet and I type in the shoe and I see what come up, and a YouTube video came up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm checking out the YouTube video. I'm all pumped up, like, damn, yeah, tight, about to cop these right now, man. And then your boys say how much it costs. I'm like, man, I can get that for cheaper because I'm over here. The yen rate, the dollar's more than the yen. So I'm like, oh, gas, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, about to get these bad boys, right? So I started to do that for like a couple months, and I just realized how the videos were just um, so stale.
Okay.
They weren't excited about what they were talking about.
Mm.
You know, there was no background music. Now this is back in the day, YouTube back in the day, man.
Mm-hmm,
There's
mm-hmm,
no
mm-hmm.
background music. It was just whatever you had that could shoot you was filming with, and there's just no excitement and no editing, nothing at all, man. So I just thought, how cool would it, I was just thinking, maybe I should give it a shot. So I thought about a sneaker that I had and that I hadn't seen on YouTube. So I came out with the blazers. I had a nice blazer collection, and that was my first video. You know what I'm saying? First video was my Nike blazer collection, and I did a little. I'm a little DJ, you know what I'm saying? I got a little vinyl setup, so I did a little scratching. Had that playing in the background. Had a little, commentary, a little comedy, and I gave it a shot, man. And when I look at that video now, it's so funny because you could tell I'm uncomfortable compared to the video you see now, and you look at my first video, like,
It's
you're
just,
like, this the same guy?
yeah.
Yeah.
I know the feeling because sometimes like I look at like my like the very first video that I did and like I ain't have no lights, no nothing, and I'm like, yo, what the hell was I fucking thinking? Like I just look I look like a 10-year-old kid. Like I'm like, yo, this shit, this is, but you could but it's crazy because the good thing is that everything is being documented, so it's like you can see the progress, with
hmm
everything, like just like your vocabulary, the way that you do things, your viewers and etc. So what was I mean, because everybody always has that channel that gives them, I guess, the inspiration of like wanting to start to do a channel. I'm not sure, did you have any channels that you like looked and you was like, damn man, like I kind of like this whole thing, and I'm gonna just follow suit, like right behind them. Like, was there channels that you liked it like around the time like when you started?
Yeah, well, that was my inspiration was to be to stand out from the other channel.
Okay.
So I would watch channels and I think, okay, that's dope. This is dope. Oh, he did that dope. Now, how could Aero Pooch put his spin on it? How can I add my character to the video?
Mm.
The first, the god of SBs, on YouTube, before Mr. Nike SB, of course, I'd have to say it's Frenelation, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he was one of the first cats, man, that I saw. I was just like, he had everything, man. There wasn't an SB sneaker he didn't have, and it was really dope. It was inspirational. But I felt that I could bring to the sneaker enthusiast a little bit more entertainment in regards to content and just character. And that's what's so dope about YouTube is because you have all these different characters and personalities that reach out to you, and it's really dope, man. That's what I like about YouTube is that everybody enjoys the same hobby, but we come at you a different flavor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Aero Pooch might be peppermint. Former Simpson might be Snickers. You know what I'm saying? KillaKicks, man. He might come at you with the Klondike bar. You know what I'm saying? So you got different flavors, man, and that's what's dope.
And it's crazy that you sent us a Nike SB6 because I just had him on a podcast on Saturday, and it was just like I was trying to keep you as a surprise for so long, and then like unknowingly, like he just spills out like your name, like, yeah, you know, a tweet that I saw from Aero Pooch, and I was like, no, like, why did he do that?
I just heard that. I was watching it at work. I watched some of it, man, and he's real. And Mr. Nike SB, man, it's people like him, you know, a lot of people in the community that are passionate, man, and you could just hear it in his conversation how passionate he is about sneakers, man.
Yeah,
It's
definitely is. But I couldn't stop, yo. Like the chuckling inside of me was just like, I like, damn, man, this guy just like spoiler. So yeah, so that was funny. So okay, so you have your YouTube rolling, and then all of a sudden, man, like your views, man, just start going crazy. Like your numbers just start going up. Like was that something that you was like expecting, or like what was your like your thoughts on that? Because like a lot of times like you do this, and I tell this to everybody, it's almost like I always like repeat like the same thing, but I always get a different answer from certain people. And like a lot of times like you do this, but you really do it like expecting some sort of following or anything like that, like lastly. So it's like now all of a sudden you're doing this, you know, this channel, and now like your channel is like the thing to watch, you know, like whenever you know, post a video. So was you like taken back by, you know, like the views that you were getting?
you know, when I started YouTube and you know I did my SB or my Nike Blazer collection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to meet people, other viewers, you know, and it was just fun. It was just kind of like if you were to go to class and you have show and tell, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would bring this dope sneaker and you show the class, hey, check it out. Got this on here, midsole pattern, back panel leather, you know, and that's kind of what YouTube was for me. It wasn't a how many followers can I get, how many views,
Mm.
and it became a means of documenting. Like you said, I was documenting my sneakers because I knew, you know, everything comes to an end, man. You know, sneakers aren't gonna last forever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason why I wanted to document a shoe that people didn't necessarily see often on YouTube.
Right. And that's
So
crazy
so
because you don't, and I don't even mean to cut you off, but it's crazy because you don't see too much of that these days. Everything is so
yeah,
saturated with the same thing.
exactly,
You know, it's like so
exactly.
many, you know, like all you see is like Jordans, and and the sad
Yeah,
part about it is that kids don't know how to be unique, you know, because
right.
you know, because everything it's uh now, and I guess like what makes it worse, like um now compared to back then, because back then there wasn't too much about that, but like the stardom. So now you got like all these rappers and Rick Ross and, you know, Fabulous. And
Mhm.
I mean, even though like Fabulous is kind of OG, but you have a lot of like these rappers now that they're constantly
Jumping.
pushing it in the lyrics, right? If you don't got these J's, if you don't got this, if you don't got that, you ain't it. So as a
Yeah.
result, these kids now, they just gravitate towards that so much that it, you know, they don't know how to be unique. You know, like before, you know, just me getting into this, there, you know, you did see people that was into the New Balances, into the Asics, into the J's, and even Reeboks, and, you know, other competitors. Now it's just like one narrow thing, and it's like hip hop has such a big influence in the shoe culture that just one person could just dominate the whole thing, and that's what's going on now compared to, you know, what it was when we was coming up. You know, we didn't
Mhm.
have that, you know, like like who would have thought that back then that like Wu-Tang Dunks was gonna be like go for so much money? Like who would have thought that, like when they initially saw it, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
It's
I think, man. You know, I'm I'm born and raised here on the West Coast, but I'm heavily influenced by East Coast music.
mm-hmm,
And when I was coming up, you know, I'll be listening to Illmatic, man. You know, Raekwon, you know, and they talk a lot about sneakers and Tim, and I think also that I think it's safe to say that when you're coming up, as a young lad, you're not you're trying to fit in, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like at least back when I was coming up, you want to fit in because if you are different, if you stand out, they're gonna bag on your ass. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that is
You're gonna
true.
be so. I think that now I could be wrong, but I think that now kids are are doing following the music trends and doing what's typed, what's advertised, what media is feeding them because they want to fit in. They don't want to be, they don't want to stand out and get ratted on and be laughed at. Why are you wearing them funny new guns? Man, it's for old people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
it's not until after you get out of school that you start to develop your own taste, your own style, your own flavor. And
Right.
that's kind of what happened. That's kind of what happened to me, man. When nobody's watching, when there's nobody to impress, you can just be yourself. You can just, if you want to be gay, I'm not saying I'm gay, but if you want to be gay, you can do that. I mean, if you want to rock pink, purple, neon, whatever the fuck you want to do, um, I think once you get out of that limelight, you become your own.
And I like that. I guess that's what I miss about just I could say our era.
Yeah.
Because I just like how unique it was. Like now it's I would never thought if you would have told me in 2002 that Air Forces was going to be wiped out the map, like to the point where nobody was going to be
Oh
rocking them.
man.
I would I would have
Man,
not believed you. I would have like, get the fuck out of here. Air Forces. I mean,
dude.
how clean in 2002 wasn't you if you had a pair of blue like blue some nice blue Guess jeans with a pencil pocket, you know, a white tee or
Man.
whatever type of tee that you want, with some white Air Forces. Like, who would have thought that Air Forces would be that wiped out? So,
Yeah, man.
it kind of shows to show you just how just being unique just went out. Now it's just like, and it's crazy because if you look at Air Forces now, they're dumping a lot of great quality shoes. But again,
Yeah.
it's Air Forces is bulky looking now. The shape, compared to the shape that people are wearing now, it's like a total, is a totally different shape. So people,
Yeah.
and the way that we dress is different now. And I'm not saying everybody, but for the most part, everything is like slimmed down. So bulky shoes doesn't look so good.
Mhm.
So now it's not appealing so much to the eye, right? It's just crazy how everything just changes, but like it's like I said, like nobody has a uniqueness anymore.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something that is kind of a blessing and a curse, man. Is that I think now is the best time to be unique because of exactly what you said. Air Force Ones are still dope, man.
Yeah,
They're still fresh,
yeah.
and I think that they're even SBs, man. Like SB Dunks, Blazers, fucking all that shit that was dope back in the day. You could still rock today and get respect.
Hmm.
It's just how you wear, how you rock it. You know,
So,
that's
but
the key.
yeah, and that's true. But now, what I love about the internet, because people bash so much the internet, but I think if you're truly for the culture, I think one amazing tool that the internet does offer is that it allows you to go backwards. you know
Yeah,
you have eBay, where you have tons of people who, it's not like a couple years ago, like try buying like a pair of like Tiffany Lowe's SB Dunks like a couple years ago, like like there was in the 500-600s. Now it's like you could buy yourself a decent pair for like 350 or 400
hey
because
man,
because
hey, it's funny you said that, man. I just came up on a pair for around that price.
right, exactly. But you understand what I'm saying? Like it's not what it the demand is not
Yeah,
there anymore. Before,
that's good though, man. You know
right,
what
and
I'm saying?
it is good because that's something that people wanted for years. But you know what? Like I look at, man, like these two young kids that work at this consignment shop that's like near me called Suplex. Shout out to the guys. And there's these these two young kids, man, like they're entrepreneurs, and like they just they dedicate themselves to the store. And these kids is probably like what, like 13, 14 years old. But what I like about seeing those two kids is that they're being groomed by different type of people that like different type of things. So it's like you have this
Uh-huh.
13-year-old kid walking to school with a pair of pad of Air Maxes, or he got some New Balances, or or like he whips it out and he got a pair of Royal Ones. I'm like, damn, like you a fly kid for like being 13 years old, compared to the average Joe who's 13
Yeah.
years old, who's constantly just wearing like LeBrons and KDs, and like like how to balance it. And that's what I
Yeah.
like about the internet, is that you could you could go all the way back. It's even funny because he talks about, like, he like, yeah, man, you know I like Raekwon, man. Raekwon is crazy. And I'm like, I'm like, I'm like, yo, you're 13 years old. I'm 32. I should know more about Raekwon than you. And but it's dope to see that because of what the internet allows. So, one thing with YouTube is like the same goes for YouTube. You could go backwards. But one thing that I love about your channel is that it could be a couple years old, man, but it still looks current. Like it still looks new because of like your editing style and everything like that, and then your vocabulary. So I mean, like, did you think that there was like some sort of competition, like when you had like Crispy Coyle coming up, and then you had Fomer Simpson? I mean, because then at one point it's like all like the same thing, like the same lingo, just different people from different places.
Mm. Yeah. Man, I tell you, I didn't really get too confident with my video editing until my Jordan 7 collection video.
Mm.
That was really that was the point in YouTube when my followers skyrocketed, and it was all just organic, man, just like the Blazers video. And I was part of this sneaker community with Crispy Coyle at the time, and a couple of other cats. Mr. Nike SD, Sneaker Freaker, Franelations, those guys, the older guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I went through a point in YouTube where I didn't make videos for like, I want to say, a year and a half, 2 years, and that's when Homer Simpson started making his videos.
Oh, okay.
So when he started, because at the time, I mean, I'm not trying to sound, big-headed, but nobody was doing videos like Crispy Coyle or myself.
Okay.
Or Mr. 90SD. We all had our lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then Miss Farmer Simpson came through, and then you had Eddie Wynn, Kicks came through. You had Bullet RC. You've got all the new guys coming through. We Are the Trend. Let's just name a few coming through doing their thing.
Right.
So it was never a competition. It was kind of like the same way that I started. They saw something that they thought was dope, and they wanted to add their flavor to it and see, okay, that's dope. Okay, you did that dope. Let me mix it up. That my flavor, my character. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was never competition in my eyes, man. It was more of we were feeding off of each other.
That's dope.
Trying to be, we were feeding off each other, trying to inspire each other to push the YouTube community to do in a certain direction, positive direction.
Did you ever run into any YouTubers that followed you, or like vice versa? And if so, like, who was it, and like like how was meeting them for like the first time?
Oh, like in person?
Yeah, in person.
Yeah, I met Rax TV.
Okay.
He came through. Rax and We Are the Trend. They had and Juice Manji. She's not on YouTube anymore, but he used to do videos.
Okay.
But they came through. Juice Manji's from Cali, and Rax and We Are the Trend were doing a Taco Bell commercial. I don't know if you've seen it.
Nah.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. He hit on Twitter, says, "Hey, man, I'm going to LA or whatever." And I hit him up. I was like, "Yo, man, let me show you what's up, man. Take it to this ramen spot real quick, And I was talking to him, and at the time I wasn't really making videos, I was just observing. I do that a lot, man. I just sit back and just check out the culture, see what's going on. Anyway, so we were talking, and he told me how where the trend got Taco Bell called him up and said they wanted him to do a commercial. And they flew him to California, and he hit up Rax. He's like, yo, Rax, man, you want to come through with me, man, And Rax like, shit, hell yeah. So that plane that came down, man, and they were just enjoying. I think they were here for like 3 days, 4 days, whatever. And he was talking to me, about the status of this, what we thought was, where YouTube was going and the trend of sneakers at the time. And that was really awesome, man. That was really dope. And that kind of just made me think, how YouTube is just, in regards to sneakers, man, how much it's just changed over the course of like 5, 6 years, man. Listen, people are getting paid. People are getting free sneakers, man.
Yeah.
Like, back when I started, man, I was like, what? Nobody would understand that, you know what I'm saying? And he would talk about how, people are getting paid just to do videos on YouTube. And I was like, damn, really? I couldn't believe it, man. They had contracts and all that stuff, and shoe companies and all this stuff. And, we're just talking about that. And then we're talking about how, we're talking about Eddie Wynn, how we feel that, you can only talk about sneakers, so long.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to grow. It's got to go in a direction kind of like hip hop. We got trap music now. 10 years ago, right? We wouldn't even hear about that. So, we think that the sneaker culture is headed in his direction because you got a full ensemble. You got to be fresh from the toe up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you got to be able to put certain colors with this shoe, hats, accessories, and then, so I totally agree with him, and I see where it's going. You got people that are making their own brand of clothing. Bullet RC's got his Bullet RC, and what's his other guy, man? His other friend, the dreadlocks.
Yeah, I forget what his name is, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, man, they got their sample clothing.
Yeah,
they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
And then to see Franelations come out with his own sandal, man. Oh my God, that's incredible.
Yeah. It's
that's mind blowing.
It's this channel can pay the way for like a lot of things. But I think if there's a down part to that is that because I remember at what time with like especially like with Rax with Rax TV and whatnot, it was kind of like if they was making it seem like if your channel has to be up to a certain standards to be looked up as to be something great. And like, and I always go back to last year, when the whole thing happened with the kid, who was just mocking everybody. Like, it just seemed like that YouTube channel was just like, it was popping, and everybody else is just brushed over to the side. And it's like, if you couldn't do something like this, then it's like your channel wasn't it until that person died away, and then everybody found out that he was an actor, and then now all of a sudden, right, and now all of a sudden, everything is cool again, like the regular YouTube channels are cool, but it seems like, like if your editing skills is not there, like they just want you to just like so much that it kind of, the way that I see it is like it kind of takes the fun of away of just because, like this is an experience, like you have the thought in your head and then you take action and then, you learn as you go. But none of this was intended or made to be perfect, so why all of a sudden we're going to make it into like this challenging, like this challenging thing, because now all of a sudden you have this one kid who has a dope YouTube channel, and it's like he's constantly in his mind like, am I doing a good job? Why am I not getting like X amount of viewers? And why does this person? So now it becomes a competition thing instead
Yeah,
of it organically being something that you like to do, you know?
yeah. That's exactly how I feel, man. Like YouTube can turn competitive, um, but I think the key is just to be true, man. You know, just do it for the love, man. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and just I think if you just do it, be true, be organic. You know, everybody's not going to like you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You're
Right.
going to cater to a certain audience, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what's dope about YouTube. So you got your audience over here, and they have their audience over there, man.
Yep.
And
You so you you stopped doing videos for a while, all right? So your channel was kind of dry for a while. It has some dope
hmm
content in it, and then you come back, and then you come back like you never left, right? And like
hmm
one of my favorite videos that you did recently was for the A6 Gel Light Cool, the Uber collaboration, that teal color. And
yeah,
you just murdered that. I was like, damn, dog, like, yeah. I was I was looking at what like me and Sneaker Freaker did it. I was like, damn, dog, did you see like this shit that Aero Pooch did for that shit? It was just like what's the thought process now, man? Like when you're like dishing out like these videos, because even like the one that you did like with the watch, I was like, yo, like this shit, I didn't even come here for a fucking watch, but like this 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 presentation now is just like so ill that it's like now I have to pay attention to the watch before I even watch like the pinnacle ones. So it was like it's like now like your whole frame of thought, it seems like it's like totally different now. Like like you're definitely way, like not that you wasn't sharp back then, but it's like now it's just like if you're gonna come back, it's like you come back like with some revenge, like a little smack in the back, like just to remind people, who you are. So now you're sitting down and you make these reviews. What is your thought process like before you even start to make a review for a shoe? Because now you have the music involved. You're heavy into the music, so you have a lot of vinyls. And I know with that, you have to kind of reminisce like what song do you want. So it's like, what's your mind frame these days now compared to like the way that it was when you were starting?
when I first started, it was me trying to do something that nobody else has done. Me trying to show a sneaker that you don't see a lot, and me conveying through the video how that shoe makes me feel, how we all feel about sneakers. And I wanted to show that through the YouTube screen. And so once I got a hold of iMovie, I've always been inspired by music. And I'll hear a song, and visually I can see a picture, and I could see, you know, just based off of maybe a movie flick I just saw, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh damn, I can do that. A good example of that would be my Air Max 97 video. In the beginning of the video, you see the shoe size of different shoes,
Yeah,
reminiscent of the beginning of a Marvel movie with the comic book pages flickering.
yeah, and that was so
So
ill.
yeah, so I heard that song that I played in that video, I pictured that image of Marvel Comics. I'm like, boom, let me do this with the shoe boxes. So first inspiration I get is from the music, and then I'll see the image in my head, and then I'll think of a shoe that is kind of like the horns of a trumpet, or if it's a jazz beat, a shoe that has that kind of silhouette that's kind of like jazzy. But most of the time, my music's gonna be like hip hop, underground, boom bap, because that's kind of the vibe I get when I open that shoebox. In
Hmm.
my head, I'm like, yeah, man, let's rock these bad boys right here, and I play that song in my head, and I can hear, I'm getting all hyped up. Like I'm super geeky with it, man. You know what I'm saying? So I
and,
get inspired by music and then the images, and then I've developed my iMovie editing so that I'm able to manipulate an image to the sound of the music. So I can cut on a kick or I can cut on a drum, and I can bring an emotion through visually, more pronounced, more like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just more passion. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying?
mm-hmm,
Because I'm really passionate about kicks, man. I want my images to emulate how I feel,
mm-hmm.
and that's really what's going behind my video production, man.
So are you just do you genuinely just like to listen to music, or are you a DJ?
Now, I guess I'm a DJ, man. I've always been into music. I played alto saxophone and jazz band. In high
Nice.
school, I played drums. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
My dad's a musician, so music's in my soul, man. So naturally, that's kind of how I think editing became so easy for me, because with DJing, you got to blend music, man. You got to match the kick with
Mm-hmm.
the kick of the other vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
You got to blend that shit. So I'm able to blend my music into editing, and then manipulate it to make it dance. You know what I'm saying? With the music, and kind of just pull that out of the screen, man.
And that's one of my favorite things about watching just your videos, man. And it's crazy because I I guess you could tell like the difference from like when somebody's like just not into like the culture, like watching videos. And it was funny because I went to one of my local boutiques that I go to buy clothes, and one of the guys that worked there that started he's starting a brand. He's like, yo man, so what you get into tonight? I'm like, yeah man, I'm about to shoot this video, man, with this ill guy, man. Like he does like sneaker reviews and whatnot, and like his shit is like real crazy. So I'm like gassing you up, right? I'm like, yo, man, like his fucking video is like crazy and yada yada yada. So he pulls he pulls up a video, and he's like, it was funny because like the audio was like off, so like all you saw was like the visual, and
Mhm.
he's like, yeah, man, like it's all right, it's all right. I'm like, yo, I'm like, are you crazy, dog? Like, you don't watch enough channels to understand that you don't see this shit too much, dog. Like the music, how everything ties. So he's like looking at it because I'm showing, I'm showing him the one like with the pen. I'm like, dog, you went
Yeah,
to this
man.
what? And he's just like looking at it, and he's looking at me. He's like, yeah, man, it's all right, like, and I'm like, so. But again, it's like you just have to find the people that's passionate about it, and it's crazy because just how passionate you are about choosing your music. Me, like, I like my name is Notes, not because of like I've never been a firm believer that you have to change for something because you're into like a certain thing. So like, let's say like sneakers, like, and not to knock anybody, but like, you have people that's like, Dunk High 28, right? And that's like their name like forever, like Dunk High. Oh shit, that's the
Yeah.
guy Dunk High 28, right? So it's like, my name
Mhm.
was, I always named myself Notes because I was into music, making beats. I play bass. So that was
Mhm.
just the music, that was just the name that I chose. And it's like, you know, just because I'm doing this is not going to deviate from like what my passion is, because I'm as passionate as about shoes, just about music and anything else that has some sort of soul movement. So
Yeah, man.
I just stick to the script, and it's like I see your videos and I'm like, damn man, I just know that he's into some sort of, he's either DJ or musician, because just how you just pick everything is just so
Mhm.
perfect.
Yeah, man. It's fun, man. It's really fun to do. Um, yeah, man. It's one because I stopped making videos, man, because it, YouTube was just, everybody was doing the same thing, man. It
Yep.
was just becoming redundant. Same sneaker, shoe come out, and you got everybody reviewing the same shoe. Um, they would state the obvious. Um,
Yeah, you got.
we know it's leather. You know, I'm guilty of that too. I mean,
Yeah, we
but
all are. We all are. Cause I
y-
mean, cause we just trying to show the shoe, but there's more to it.
yeah. So that's when I saw that, with the exception of it, I'm not saying everybody was doing that. With the exception of the few, that's when I knew or I felt that I wanted to contribute to YouTube, to the YouTube sneaker community, to the enthusiasts. I wanted to give my part, and I saw a lane for me to get in. And
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I could bring something different. I knew that you would watch my video and you would leave learning something instead of, just being entertained. So
Right,
I
right,
make sure that I put a little educational punch.
right.
Keep it perforated, stay educated. You know what I'm saying? I'll make sure I'll educate you a little bit about why the sneaker's so relevant, or why, you know, it functions like this or like that. And that's kind of what I wanted to bring, and also visual stimulation. I wanted to just, just express my passion, man, as an outlet, like I said.
Yeah,
Uh,
I love that. I love that. One. So I'm definitely gonna have like a link in the bottom of the description part, to check out your channel. So let's get into a discussion about just shoes in general. And you're a big Air Max guy. Like you've reviewed plenty of Air Maxes. So I considered you uh, a, a partial Air Max head, right? So one of the biggest complaints I hear so much is the shape. The shape. Oh, the shape has changed, man. Look at this. Look at these
hmm
Air Max ones compared to like
Jeez, man, I got
2000
a story, boy.
2003, and look at the shape now, like what's and I totally understand it, because if you I just recently saw a post on Instagram, and they was talking about the New Balance 1500s, how they're actually bringing back the old
Woo,
shape, the way that the
man.
shape used to be like originally, and they're starting to bring that back. Um,
Yeah, man.
how important to you is that shape of the shoe? Like it, especially like with Air Maxes, because I saw how you did the review for the Safaris, and the first thing that came out your mouth was like, the shape. The shape is obviously it's not the same, but it's a it's a different it's a different look, right? We have
Man.
a glow in the dark sole and whatnot. So obviously, but the
Yeah.
shape is totally different. Like, what is your opinion on the shape of shoes in the early 2000s compared to like where they're at now? And do you think that the shape has to come back?
Um, let me tell you a little story, man. So I go through phases in my sneaker collection, and um, I started with J's. J's are always going to be in the rotation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
J's are always going to be rotation. I went to the Air Max 90s. I picked up on those, got a couple ones. Air Stabs, 97s, and then I went through I'm going through a New Balance Asics Diodora phase right now.
Okay.
Since 2013, man. Heavy, New Balance, heavy. I also went through my SB phase. We could talk about quality issues with that on another day, man. But I mean, you guys already covered that.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys already covered that.
Yeah, thank
So we
you,
already
Mr.
know
Nike
that.
SB. Yeah, yeah. He I think he did, and between him and Sneaker Freaker, they did a very fine job covering
Yeah,
the
man.
quality control
So
of Nike SBs.
yeah. So um so I went through a phase where I didn't buy any Air Maxes, man. And I saw a color that I liked, and I decided to go for it. Price was right, pulled the trigger, man, full clip. I rolled. And I rocked them. Me and my wife, we went to New Zealand. And, I didn't really like the shape, but I really liked, the material that they had on it. And, um, I, I just picked it up. We went to this trip, and I wore them for all day, man. And at the end of the day, my feet were killing me, and I just couldn't. I couldn't do it, man. It didn't. I didn't ride with me very well. So I ended up walking into a store, and I picked up another Air Max. It was around the time when they had the Fuse Air Max one.
Okay.
Which is, they had the Hyper Fuse. They had a nice silhouette going with that one, compared to the one that I had on. But I tried them on. They were run kind of narrow. The material wasn't flexible. It was killing me, man. You know what I'm saying? The dogs was barking. So, I'm just browsing the store, and I see, the New Balance sneaker. Now, up until this point, I did the 999 video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a sneaker that the Concepts 999 Theo, the first New Balance sneaker that really just pulled me out of my comfort zone. And it wasn't necessarily comfortable, but the materials were on point, and, I was just blown away. So I saw this New Balance 1500 made in England, and the color blocking was simple, and I just gravitated to it, man. It just changed my life, man, straight up and down. And that was around 2000, I want to say 2012, late 2012. So after that point, man, I started just buying New Balances and paying attention to comfort. But to get to your point in regards to shape, I think that you got to look at sneakers. I look at sneakers like sport cars. Okay, you don't see a sport car with a flat face, with a flat grille. It's going to have some kind of curvature. It's going to have some kind of aerodynamic structure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what Nike is good at is making shoes that look like they're moving when they're not. And when you have a steel-toe boot shaped on an Air Max running classic silhouette, that's a slap in the face, man, straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and what's crazy, man, is that it hasn't changed. It depends on what materials are used, but when they come out with the classic, silhouette or whatever, with the classic color blocking, that shit is all messed up, and it hasn't changed.
Yep.
And I think the reason it hasn't changed, man, is we can go back and look at the Jordans. Now, we know Jordans was lagging on the quality, man, back in, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Before they did the remastered, initiative.
Yeah.
Man, quality, shape. Remember when fives came out? When they came out with the white fives?
Yeah.
They look fake. You know what I'm saying?
I think I think the worst pair of Jordans that came out in that time was the Hawaiian Punch, the Jordan 6. I don't know if you remember them. They was like real, like the plastic, that plastic white with it was the worst shoe. And then what was so bad about that shoe was that Jordan actually co-signed it, saying that it was one of his favorite. Like,
oh God, Jesus, man. It's all a selling point. It's just how much can we get? Okay, the kids want these shoes. Let's just punch them out. Boom, 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 boom. Right?
Yeah.
And it was just terrible. And then you got an uprising. The sneaker community took notice, and they're like, "Yo, this shit's whack." You know what I'm saying? And it just caused a big ripple. And I think they listened. They listened to that. Another example is the mids. I know a lot of people might not cater to the outsole, the clear outsole. Remember how they used to be clear?
Right.
And they started to add the blue to offset to help, eliminate the
yellowing.
Oxidation.
Yeah.
The oxidation yellowing. And that was a response to the sneaker community, man. So a lot of people don't think that we have a voice, but man, I'm telling you, Jordan is an example of how if you just look at their line in the last 5 years, how it's changed and how it's gotten a lot better than what it was. Yeah. And I think the Air Max community, if the Air Max community did what the Jordan community did, man, I'm telling you, we would see some dope guys. But New Balance, who would have thought New Balance, out of all brands, would pay it? Now, New Balance has a really they are serious about their shape.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that's kind of where I kind of fed off of that when I started buying New Balances, man, because I would hit the forums and stuff, and I post my little pictures with everything, and I'm fresh, and they'd be like, I like, this model better because the shape, the toe box is different, and I started to pay attention. I'm like, you know what, damn, that does look tight, man, and
Yeah.
so New Balance, they really, as as a group, a small niche group, uh, in regards to the collectors of the UK model 577, 576, 1500s. They really came, they're really coming through this year, man,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
these models, dude.
And it's crazy how
So
they're listening to the voice. And that's one thing that I really, to be honest, I never understood about the Jordan community, because it's like, okay, so back in, what are we, 2016? Okay, I'm not even going to take it too back. Let's just say 2014, right? People was complaining and bitching. Oh my God, there's not too many Jordans, and it's always selling out, and it has the worst
mhm.
quality, and the bots, and Nike has to stop the bots, and right, it's like that's that's like the Jordan community, right? 2004, the bots, uh, and the resellers, and all right, cool. So now all of a sudden they make the remasters, and then they make a lot, to the point
Yeah,
where now you could just walk into your local sneaker villa and you could see some nice pair of Jordans just sitting right there waiting for you. Now the conversation comes where it's like, okay, well, Jordan is not really winning, because Adidas is in, and that's why Jordans is sitting. And now all of a sudden there's like this complication. I'm like, yo, like, do you not remember in 2014 how much y'all was complaining about the soul, and the even even to the pricing? Like, I think like the pricing is not, well, it's it's bad, but now it's like you don't
yeah, it
have
is, man.
but now it's like you still don't have to jump to the gun and buy the shoe. You could just wait for it to go on sale, and you would just buy it on sale. So
Yeah,
I always tell people, I'm like, if you're into Jordans, I think now is the perfect time to really be into Jordans and buy everything, because you never know when it's going to pick up again. And it's like, I definitely agree with what you say. Like, if you're into Air Maxes, and like your whole thing is like the shape, like I was blown away by like how New Balance actually. Let me tell you how ill New Balance is, and to this day I'm so pissed off that I didn't go to that event. New Balance had came here to Philly, and they went to this boutique shop that I know, and they wanted that boutique shop to pick a handful of sneakerheads that is lovers of New Balances, and I was chose to be one of those group, and I think they only chose like 5 people,
oh
and
shit.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, it was like real small. So so my homie told me, he's like, yo man, like I really want you to be a part of this, yada yada. I'm like, hell's yeah. And to 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 even make the deal a little bit more sweeter, you got a pair of free New Balance ID that you can make yourself, that was like on like New
oh
Balance.
man,
So it was for free. All right, so cool. So I get
the
invited to this.
KillaKicks edition, the KillaKicks edition.
Listen, so I get invited to this shit. I'm like, yo, I'm like hyping. I'm telling my wife, I'm like, yo, I can't believe I got picked for this. And this is, I get picked for it. And then long story short, I work at a hospital. It was like real short that day. They messed up my fucking date, and they didn't give me off. And
Uh,
I was like hella, I end up canceling like less than like 24 hours. And I was just like so fucking pissed. But like what can I do? Like everybody has to work. But the
yeah.
crazy thing was, I was talking to my homie Richie, who was like real heavy into New Balances, and he was like, "Damn man, like they was showing us everything that's coming out next year, and like we was picking like what do we think that would work, and what do we think that wouldn't work, and like the shape of the shoe, and like they even took them to like I think it was." I think that because there's a New Balance store here now in Philly, and I think that they took him to that store like right before it was going to open, and it was just like a crazy experience. And to see that from a company like that, even though I wasn't a part of it, I was supposed to initially be a part of it. It was real humbling to see that because that took me back to like the old days when I used to work at Sneaker Villa back in 2002 when these Nike reps used to pass by and they used to have the
Mm.
big duffel bags and they used to show you everything that was coming out next year, and the conversation will be like, okay, do you think that the consumer is going to like this? Do you think that this is going to work? And now it's like Nike is like so powerful that that shit don't even fucking matter anymore. It's like
Yeah, man.
it's like you lost out of a shoe. Go do that shit with a reseller, and then just put the money in his pocket. But either way, they're winning. It's either you getting it from them or you getting it from somebody else. But at the end of the day, you're still getting them. and and
Hmm.
and it's just crazy how I would wish that Nike would was to take that route, that they could just go back to like what it used to be when they used to like go to these stores and just kind of just show what was coming out, and then have like a discussion of like what was, like what do people think about it, like do they think that anything needs to be changed? Because even if you look at a lot of the shoes that came out in the 2000s, if you look at like the general release versus the sample version, it was like totally different. Like the color was like, like a different color red, or it was like a different color gray. So it's like you could tell that towards like the end, it of mine from the consumer standpoint. And I don't know, like
Yeah.
I just wish that Nike really went back to that.
You know what? When you say that, it kind of remind me of what Saucony did with a couple of YouTubers, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know if
yeah.
you're aware. Yeah,
I was literally we was literally like just talking about that on Saturday, how they did the collaborations with like the YouTubers.
yeah, man. Had well, I think Nightwing, Tony D. Too Wild,
You had Dells, you had
Infinite
Foamer,
Day,
yeah,
Devs, and
and
that was like,
that,
wow, that
yeah,
was really
yo,
that
yo,
was dope.
I was jelly, dog. I was looking at that screen like, damn, dog. Yo, I was looking at that like, damn, I gotta get my fucking game up, man. Like, how do I get to that level?
But bro, dude, have you got an opportunity to do an NB1 or a Nike ID? Have you
um,
got an opportunity to?
I I did one Nike ID years ago, and it was like a gift and a curse because I couldn't enjoy it. Like I did it, I enjoyed it doing it, and when I got it in my hand, I just couldn't find anything to wear it with. And and it was when Nike released the animal print for the Air Forces, and they did like the cheetah print, they did
Mm,
the zebra,
yeah, I remember that.
and I did it, and I kind of did it being a little bit of not naive, but kind of just like, all right, well, fuck it. I'm never gonna get like a pair of like Air Max ones or Animal Packs. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just get like these Air Forces. I'm gonna just make it my own. And then when I made it, uh, that was kind of like how I wanted to get into like the YouTube thing, because um, I was like real cool like with Sneaker Freak, and I was like, yo, man, like, can I borrow your channel so I could like do a review on on this shit? He was absolutely, absolutely, man. Come on, man, and just give it a chance. And
Yeah,
so when I
tight.
did it, I did it. The shit got hella views on it, and then
Hmm.
after I had it, I was like, damn, man, like, what the fuck am I gonna wear this? And every time, like, every time I put it on my feet, it was just like it went right back to the box. I was like, damn, I just can't. I wore it. I wore it like one time to like it was a sneaker event. I want to say it was Soul Exchange, and Cameron was supposed to show up, and Cameron ended up not showing up, and like the whole
Mm.
crowd got stupid mad because everybody was there like specifically for that. But what I did enjoy about that day was that everybody was like, "Yo, what the fuck are those?"
Breaking necks.
Like, yo,
Yeah,
what are they?
I hope they have health care, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Yeah, it was like, yo, what's dope. But for the longest, you know what? my next IDs are going to be New Balances, and I do have one on the. I have one on my cart that I'm ready to check out pretty soon, like before they exit out on these dope ass colors that they got. But pretty soon I'm gonna make me one, and I'm curious to see, how comparing them both because I did the Nike ID, and even with me paying that money, it was still flaws. Like you could still see glue stains. You
Yeah.
could still see like they did not give a fuck at all. So I'm real curious to see how New Balance is gonna be in terms of ID.
Mm. I did a Nike ID Air Max One when they had the corduroy denim option,
Oh, okay, okay.
and I was really impressed with my pair because the shape was different from what was on the rack, in Foot Locker,
Mm-hmm.
and I was kind of taken back by that. The tongue was fat too. It was really dope. And then I did a New Balance, um, and I had got that in the mail, and quality, wasn't an issue at all. The only problem that I had was the stitching. It was the 998. The stitching made New Balance made in USA wasn't tight together, kind of spread out. You kind of geek out over stuff like that, but the details. You know what I'm saying? But besides that, New Balance, I was pretty impressed that there wasn't any glue stains or anything like that.
Now, now,
So
now, one thing. I mean, like we're talking about all these brands, right? Like we're talking about Asics, New Balances. I mean, we haven't even talked about Asics so much, but Asics is not behind. Asics, they know how to put some shit out. Like they could take. I think like this year they took a little break, but I think next year it's gonna be like I think this is like the calm like before the storm. Like next year is gonna
that's
be.
true, man.
I
I
think like
agree.
I
That
I think like next year you're gonna start seeing a lot of crazy like gel light threes. I'm a big fan. It's funny. I liked it like the gel light fives, and then I gravitated a lot towards like the gel light three. It's just something about that
mhm.
split tongue that just looks so sexy. I don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
I like the Gillette 3 better too, man.
Yeah, yeah. It
I mean,
just
the 5 feels a little bit more softer, but
right,
that
right,
3
right.
though,
Yeah,
that
but
3 though.
that three is something else. But one brand that's in the topic of discussion now that if you would have asked me this, man, if you would have asked me this when the Red Octobers came out, like if you would have asked if you would have asked me that Adidas was gonna be on top, it was so far fetched, right? Like I'm like
Hmm.
it was
Yeah, people
like
were just like, no way.
right, because when you thought about Adidas at at that time, you just thought of Stan Smiths, shell tops, um, um, uh, you got your top tens, like they just straight,
All those sneakers going through your head when you saw next time with Adidas, you think all those sneakers I was the same way, man. I was
right,
like, what the
exactly,
hell is
like
gonna flip?
that's what you think about when when you thought about Adidas, like back in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
Now
nothing wrong with that, but
no,
yeah, I know what you're
no,
saying.
nothing wrong with that because my affordable attire was like a nice pair of top tens. There was $45, $50. You get that and you
Yeah.
keep it pushing. So it's nothing wrong with that. But now there are the talk of the town. That the majority of light. They did something that shit, man. I I would have had never thought that they would have outsmarted Nike like that, and it's
Hmm.
technology, you know. And when you think about technology, you often think that Nike is like the king of technology, right? Like, now they got these Air Maxes that they're ready to drop that they tie their own, and and you have so many other things that they've made, but it's like New Balance was just like on steroid. Like they just found one person that had an amazing idea and was like, "Yo, I'm a," and it's crazy because I kind of saw it coming when Y3 started working with Adidas.
Hmm.
Like it didn't have anything to do with Kanye or anything like that. when I saw the first shoe that Y3 started to do with Adidas, I said, "Shit, yo, wait until a couple
Yeah, whole nother
years.
level.
Yeah, wait till a couple because that like the tubular shape was just so far fetched that people
Yeah,
it was still weird.
extreme.
Yeah, it was
It's like
still
a concept car, bro.
right. It
Like
was
when you see the
still
concept car.
it was still strange to people. So when Y3 started doing that, it was just like, ah man, like it's dope, but it looks like a ninja shoe. Like
Yeah.
I I can't picture myself wearing it now.
Mhm.
It's like it's it like that's it that model that Y3 made like years ago. That's it. That's not, now you see the tubular, and then that molded into what we see now with the Ultra Boost, and now the Ultra Boost turns into something else, and now Kanye comes into play and just takes over everything. And I don't know why Nike constantly do this, but Nike are somewhat known for having like a key player or like a key person and just letting them go for whatever reason. And I
Mm.
don't I really don't think that they thought that Kanye was just going to demolish that whole brand. Like I'm not even sure like what's like your whole thoughts on that.
I'll tell you what, man. Nike is a sportswear brand. You know what I'm saying? And I think they wanted to just, they didn't want to deviate from that. And they
Mm,
still, to this day, they haven't deviated. But,
mm,
but Jordan saw what happened in Nike, and you know what happened, what they did, right? The OVO. They got smart, the Jordan brand.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, when Kanye left to Adidas, just like I'm thinking all these sneakers going through my head, thinking what possibly could Kanye do, with Adidas? And little did we know, Boost was out already before Kanye was, blew up the Boost. Um, but yeah, he got a hold of that technology, had his simple design on the sneaker, to cater to his style, and man, it just took off. And I think that Adidas and Nike have always been, head to head. And I think right now it's safe to say that now I think it's safe to say it's NMD season right now. This year NMD has been, I don't know how it is on the East Coast, bro, but
Yeah,
here in Cali, yeah, trying to find one sitting on a shelf.
yeah. And
So
NMDs are so crazy.
yeah,
I was talking to this girl that I follow on Instagram, and she's like, I'm trying to make her like my little Japan connect. Like if I need something from Japan and shit, I'll just holler at her, and like we'll do favors for each other. So when the masterminds came out, I was like, yo, NMD masterminds are coming out. What's the odds of you being able to get me these? And she was like, let me tell you something. In Japan, NMDs are so fucking big that gangs actually, she said gangs actually get in the lines and bully motherfuckers out of the line.
jeez,
She said
man,
she's like, yo, that shit is real serious out there, like when it comes to NMDs. And wow, like, but again, looking at that shoe, the shape, the shape of the
yeah,
shoe, when you look at an NMD, it's hard not to look at that shoe and not think about the old shape of an Air Max 1 or Air Max
yeah, man,
90. Like that sleek look, that thin, sleek look on the toe box. And it
yep,
drastically gets wider towards like the end. Like they
yeah,
just
man,
they everything that Nike was doing wrong is like they took it and they just made a brand new technology and they just ran with it. And you're
yeah,
right, it's NMD season.
yeah, man, like, yeah, that shape is crucial, man, serious. And I think that prime net technology that they jacked from Nike, the flight. I'm not saying they jacked it, but Nike
Let's
came
keep
up
it
with
real. Let's
their
keep it real.
flying.
Let's keep it all the way funky. They not only jacked it, but Nike fans are so in their feelings when it comes to that shoe. Like, yeah, man, they took it for the Roshis and they took it for the flying leather. They be so in their feelings. But We all know who they took it from. They took it from Nike, but they spend the money. They spend the money to make the quality better. And
Yeah,
I just
they're
don't know.
progressive, man.
Yeah, I just don't know why Nike doesn't do that. I'm not sure why they don't spend the money, the marketing money that we put the money in their hands. So it's like we
Yeah,
should be asking them what are they doing with that money to reimburse great product back to us. Because the way that I
yeah,
think about it is is just a whole full circle. So it's I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. So you live in Cali, and I'm real curious. Uh, what are the consignment shops like out there? Because in Cali, you have a lot of consignment shops up there. Like you have Ref LA, you have you got Flight Club out there, and then you have other
yeah.
consignment shops
You
that I'm
got
pretty
bait
sure.
out here. Got bait blend,
Okay.
proper, just to name a few. But these, we got a lot of hype beasts in Cali, man. You know it's serious when you got a Supreme and a Flight Club on the same street. So you can only imagine what it's like to get a sneaker here on a release day from any of these consignments. And some of them, do the backdoor shit, and some of them you might be scrapping in a line,
Mm.
because somebody's holding a chair or the chair's there, nobody shows up to the last hour. So I actually stopped. I stopped waiting in line, man, because it got so vicious on the streets during the
Mm.
release day.
What was kind
Um,
of like the craziest
so
thing that you've seen like on a line out there?
the craziest thing that I've seen was the I was in line Black Friday at Proper. It was the cement, the black cement threes, man. All right,
Mm.
and your boy already knew I had to show up early. You know what I'm saying? So I got there. I want to say they opened at 11. I got there at what, around 3 in the morning. I worked night shift the night prior, so I was already acclimated to the night environment. So I'm in line, whatever, kicking back with the homies. I think I was like fourth in line, and there were two chairs that weren't accommodated when I showed up at 3 in the morning, right? So whatever. This this is probably this is probably my first camp out, man. Up until this point, I was just doing online, man. Just buying
Mm.
online and walking into a store, grab it. This was before raffles. This is actually kind of towards the beginning of raffling system.
Okay.
So I'm in line, whatever. Clock comes up, 10:30, and a guy shows up for one of the chairs. 10:45, the other guy shows up for the other chair, but he's got four other guys with him. You know what I'm saying? So there's no accountability for who's waiting in line. There's no system in play. So everybody behind that second chair. Now these ain't no wimps, man, coming through this line, man. These are some gangsters, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you talking about Cali. You talking about
Yeah, you
Cali.
don't roll up on a squad. Like you gotta you gotta think, is this gold or is this a sneaker? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta put that in perspective. Are you gonna put your life in danger for that? And I wasn't gonna do that, man. But I got my sneaker, but it was a principle that I witnessed, and it was disgusting, man. It was so sad. And the store didn't, they weren't there to see what happened, but then the people online would convey, hey man, these dudes showed up, blah 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 blah. So it's their words against them. At the end of the day, they're gonna sell the shoe anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 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 for them, it doesn't matter who gets the shoe. So at the end of the day, the little guy loses, man. So it was just really, really bad to see. I didn't like it at all, man.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that was a really bad experience.
So do you often find like any steals like at any of those consignment shops? I mean, like what type of shoes do they cater more to most? Because I only ask because like they have consignment shops out here, but there's some consignment shops that they cater more towards like J's. They really don't have like here, like in this city, like you could have a consignment shop, but best believe that in the used wall, a lot of shit is sitting because I see it
Yeah,
every single day. So, like, can you find any steals like out there?
yeah. You can find a lot of steals in Hollywood on Melrose
Okay.
um, because it's so saturated. And we've got a store. Well, first, let me tell you what's going on out here. So you got a few cats rocking SBs. You ain't got nobody wearing Air Force Ones unless you're above the age of 35. You see an OG walking down, with his strut, you know, walking down the street with some all white Air Force Ones. Very rare out here. You see Chuck Taylors,
Mm-hmm.
You see Vans are really big out here, and you can't
Oh,
leave them out of conversation.
yeah,
Vans is doing their thing right
y-
now, man. They
yeah,
killing it.
yeah, yeah. That
Um,
that Toy Story. I need that Toy Story in my collection. That
yeah, man, they're coming up with some really good ideas.
yeah, yeah.
So Vans are popping, but Jordans and Boost, that's what's cracking right now, right?
Okay.
So a lot of these consignment shops, whenever there's a Boost release, kind of like over there, they do the little raffle system, and if you don't get it, you don't get it, But there's a second opportunity for you to go down to Melrose. Down Melrose is a street up in Hollywood, and they have all these shoe consignment spots there. Just kind of like Flight Club, but not as expensive. Flight Club and Red Malay and Little Tokyo, kind of like them, but on a smaller scale and
Mm-hmm.
not as expensive. So a lot of people cater to that. And then I don't know if you heard of Round Two.
Yeah,
Have you heard
yeah,
of Round Two?
yeah.
So Round Two, you can get some really good steals, man. I picked up
Yeah,
the Ronnie Fieg 998s, man, 150. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I came up.
I actually went to round two in Virginia, man, and I came. I, I bought me. It was so crazy how I came across that. So I used to have a Campbell Soup Supreme T-shirt that I had, and
Mhm.
I had the T-shirt and I sold it, and then a couple years later, my wife bought me the sneaker book. I forget what's the name of the sneaker book, but what the cool thing about that was that they cater to everything, including Vans. So when they went to the Van section, they had a Campbell Soup collection from Supreme, and I was looking at that T-shirt like,
Yeah.
damn, yo, I fucking missed that T-shirt. So
Mhm.
it was me and my wife's anniversary. We go to Virginia, and when we coming back on our way back to Philly, I said, "Yo, we have to stop by Roundhouse because I've never been to the store. I actually know a couple of the workers that work there, but I've never been to the store." So I go to
Mhm.
the store, and we go to the freaking clothes section, and my wife pulls out the shirt like, "Oh, ain't this the shirt that you wanted?" I'm like, "Yes, how much?" $60. I'm like, "Give me that." I like, yo, how it was like, yo, how crazy. I was just talking about this shirt yesterday, and I buy the shirt today for $60. When I sold the shirt, somebody bought the shirt off of me for 130. And it was like, I was
Damn.
like, damn, dog. Like, I was like, I'm never gonna get that shirt back because I kept on looking at the price, and I was like, I don't want to pay that price again. And
Yeah.
I bought it for $60 at Roundhouse. So you could definitely find a lot of crazy steals at that store.
Yeah, man. I actually go there a lot, man. I pick up this year. I started buying Supreme hats, man. I've been trying to get a Supreme collection like KillaKicks and Sneaker Chicken, man. And you guys be rocking the Supreme hats, man. I'm like, man, let me get up on this, man. See what's up. Because them bad boys sell out quick, but I get them for a nice price down there, man. So I go down there frequently.
That's I actually like that y'all have that store out there. I'm hoping, man, that they could come out here to Philly, man, and shut everything down. Like,
Yeah,
because at some point, man, you just gotta give people steals, man. Like, it just can't be about, so much brand new shit, man. Like, just let people bring in new stuff, man, and just tear it up, man. I like steals,
yeah,
I definitely like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
steals.
I
Um
remember watching. Sneaker Freakers YouTube videos, man. Used to come up playing at the Buffalo
Yeah,
Exchange.
yeah, man. Like king of that. I'm actually I even hate to say it because then if I don't do it, then it's like I get crucified. But fuck it. Like, uh, one of the things is I am gonna start making a vlog, like a weekly vlog. And I was talking to some of the people out there in Buffalo Exchange, and I might be able to go in there to like scout like every day to see like what I pick up, and then like make a review out of it like at the end of the week. Um, because you just find so much.
Yeah.
My last shoe that I bought was New Bannon's uh the 575s. Um oh, what are those, the 575s? Yeah, yeah, 575s, all gray ones. They were from I think the 20th the 20th
I think I see
anniversary
it.
for the UK.
You got them on your
Yeah,
you got them
yeah,
on your Instagram.
yeah. Yo, like $30 for that shoe. I was like,
Damn.
damn, dog. When I came across that shit, I was like, yo, this is. But this is what I love about just like the whole thrift shopping, and just, you just never know what you're gonna, what you're gonna get into. You never know what you're gonna get. When you get
Yeah.
into these stores. So, what is the future for like Aero Pooch and like his YouTube channel? Like, are you going to continue to drop videos? Are you kind of just going to fall back and enjoy, other people, or like what is like the future like for you?
Man, it's just I feel like Kanye West, man. He's got all these ideas. He can't get them out. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't have enough time, man.
Yeah.
And in the day or in the week, I got two jobs. One job's real demanding. The other one, is kind of far away. But I'm always gonna make videos because, like I said, it's an expression. It's a form of expression and an outlet. It's a hobby, a passion. You can't just stop being passionate about something, right? You can't stop loving your wife. You know what I'm saying?
No. Unless if she does something
I'm always
crazy. Then by nature I'll have to be forced to like love somebody.
but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, you're always going to be,
Of
passionate
course.
about
Of
certain
course.
things. So my videos are always going to be coming out. But, something that I've never done is promise a video every week or, give you a date for a release of a video because it's strictly organic. If when I see a sneaker or I hear a song, like I said, I'm inspired to do that video, boom, you're going to get it. When I got a 3-day weekend and I'm inspired, boom, I'm going to do it. And it's something that I have freedom to do because I'm not getting a paycheck from making videos. I'm not sponsored by Theodora or New Balance Asics. So I can do this of my own free will, do whatever shoe I want to do. And yeah, man, it's just, I have an idea of, different ideas to do videos with other people. I would like to do kind of like collaborations. But again, it's all about time, man. And when I do my videos, they take days, man.
Yeah. I mean,
it's unfortunate, but it takes a lot of time to do the editing and everything. So, yeah, I'm always going to make videos. It's going to be an unexpected drop. You're not going to know when.
I like
it's
that.
going to be a quick strike video.
A quick strike Aero Pooch quick strike. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that idea. And one thing about Aero Pooch is when you watch his video, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And that's exactly what you're gonna get. So man, yo, listen, my brother, man, I definitely appreciate you being a part of this. What's your Instagram, man, for the new babies that know, that don't know about you too much?
Every damn day. Hey, real quick story about that, man.
Cool.
If
Go
you
ahead.
if you guys watch my older videos, it was I quote that. I've been watching a lot of YouTube lately. Every damn day, and I said that in a couple of my videos, right? And the next month, I went to a sneaker store in a Foot Locker, and Nike had it on a T-shirt. They had every damn day on a T-shirt. And that's when I was like, oh shit, man, somebody's watching. You know, they watching. But yeah, that's my Instagram. Whenever you think of every damn day, still just like they do on the Nike T-shirt, but
Yo,
with the eye.
they're
Yeah.
stealing people's. They, damn, that's crazy. So they, yo, because we was talking about that like with Mr. Nike SB6, like we was looking at the insole, and I was like, yo, they took this shit. I said they took this shit from Mr. Nike SB. There's no way that you can't tell me. You can't look at Mr. Nike. I'm like, yo, look at this
Yeah.
picture and look at this insole and tell me that this is not the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And
It
yo,
is.
it's I mean, hey man, you never
They
know
watch
who's,
it, bro.
yeah, man, you never know. You never know who's watching, you never know who's listening. So
Mm-hmm.
I hope if anybody's listening, I hope that somebody listens to this. I hope, man, that y'all enjoyed this because I definitely enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, man, it's
Um
fun, dude.
yeah, man, it was definitely fun. It definitely won't be the last, to be honest. Like I always, everything that I do is definitely going to be a part 2 series. It's all about when it's time to be re-retroed. if,
Yeah, I hear that. You best believe it. Hey, you best believe when I'm in Philly, I'm gonna hit you up too, man.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yo,
saying?
because there's a lot of new spots out here that you definitely gotta visit. There's some cheesesteaks out here that you gotta taste. You're not gonna get that type of quality of meat out there in Cali, man. So it's definitely some
Oh
cheesesteaks.
snap!
There's definitely some cheesesteaks out here, that you gotta taste. But yeah,
Hell
man,
yeah!
I definitely enjoyed this. I'm gonna leave a description, a link to Aero Pooch his YouTube channel. I'm gonna leave that in the bottom. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, his channel as well, and download my free app. Damn it, KillaKicks is available for iPhone and Android, and the best part about it is that it's free. You don't gotta
Hell
pay
yeah!
nothing. It doesn't cost you
Free
anything.
99.
Yup, and I've had it free
Yeah.
forever, and it's still gonna be free because knowledge is key. I got into this, wanting to learn how to read about these shoes, and when are these shoes gonna come out, and blogs is just definitely, blogs and forums is the best information that you're gonna get to any shoe that's gonna come out. So I always tell
Mm-hmm.
people, if you don't know what to read, definitely download the app, and everything is right there for you, and you don't have to, you know, try to guess which one is good for you. So definitely download the app. I hope, man, that you enjoyed this, and I guess till next time, Aero Pooch.
Yeah, man. Check you guys later, man.
Likewise, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the opportunity reaching out to me, man. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, man. I
It's all love.
I always got to reach out to the OGs, because people got to know. People got to know what's going on with these YouTubers, and I'm the voice. Trust me that I am the
Yeah,
voice. There's no YouTube channel out here that's gonna do this. That's gonna
yeah.
bring up people, that is just passionate about the culture, man. So, I see Arrow Pooch, man, and I think Dallas Penn. Like you just got two people that are just
Yeah,
so,
Delphin.
you know,
That's the
so
man.
so passionate, so yeah, man. So I love this. I love the whole conversation. We're definitely going to come back at it again. And till next time, everybody, peace out.
Peace.